So you said you have a couple Uber stories.
Yeah, I do. There's a few. All right.
Let's hear them.
Well, so I got off my work and I had to take an Uber driver home, and
You had to take an Uber driver home.
yeah, I had to take them home to their house.
Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Or are you trying to say that you took an Uber home?
No, I literally took my Uber. Yes, I did.
So you literally took your Uber driver home
Definitely.
in his Uber?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
no, we got out and we walked home.
Did you hold his hand all the way there?
Yeah. I was their emotional support.
You walked beside him and you were like, "You can do it, buddy. You're gonna be all right." All right, go on.
So I was I'd be riding in the back, and like the vast majority of the time, and when it's just you and the Uber driver, it'll either be like dead silence, or it'll be like small talk for a few minutes.
Just
and-
heavy breathing. You should film this one day. You should get in the back of an Uber and just like sit back there and just for like the whole ride. And then every time he looks back at you, you just give him a blank stare and quit.
Yeah.
And then every time he turns around, just
You get closer and closer to the back of his head.
literally breathe on his neck. Just be like,
That'd be a good horror story.
just like breathe on the back of his neck, and then just all of a sudden just be like, "Have you ever been robbed? Have you ever thought about what would happen if you got murdered?"
Like if like you were riding, driving someone home, and they just like held a 9mm to the back of your head.
You ever thought about getting shot in the head?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. As you're breaking down a gun.
Yeah.
Like, you ever thought about getting shot? So what else happened in this?
Oh, okay. So what
there was
happens,
a guy in the trunk.
What happens? Yes, there's a guy. There's an Indian man in the trunk. It's Mr. Chow from from the Hangover.
Mr. Chow.
But what happens usually is they'll tell you their entire life story, or there'll be like a few minutes of like light conversation and then just silence all the way home. But what happened a
They
lot
tell you
was
their life story.
their entire life story over the course of like 15 minutes. It was amazing.
So you get in the car, and they're just like, "Okay," for like 15 minutes, and then you're like,
It'd be
"Jeez."
like introductions like, hey, I'm Chase. Hey, I'm Rob. So I was born the youngest of three, and I just go on with their entire life story.
Is this like a standard thing with Uber?
Yeah,
Like they tell you their life story?
I think it's just because they don't know what else to talk about. Like, because they don't know you, so they're just like, let me just tell you about me.
I would get in there and just be like, "Just shut up and drive."
But one of my Ubers said that they had they were scared to death of one of their riders because the second he got into the car, he said, "Shut up and drive," and they were just terrified the entire way home.
Just shut up and drive fast. Ignore the gun.
If you see lights, don't pull over.
Do you sit in the front or the back of the Uber?
I always sit in the back. I don't like sitting in the front. I just feel like it's too personal.
You should sit in the front one day and then just be real wide eyed and just stare at him the whole time. And you'd be like, "So what are you doing?" Or just reach over and just like hit the blinkers.
Just like grab their arm.
Assert your dominance. Just like while they're driving, just like they say they come to a stop, just reach over and just put it in park. So they're just sitting there, just whoom. They're just like,
Just
"What's going on?"
Take the keys out of the.
Come to a stop, take the keys, throw them out the window, and then just be like, "Well, that sucks."
I saw a video on that. Did you see the There's this video that's like this guy was riding with his friend, and then he was like, "Man, you're too drunk to drive. Let me help you there." And he took the keys out of the ignition. He was like, "Okay, we're good."
This is how we drive.
It was in a moving car too.
Really?
Yeah.
So the steering wheel probably locked up. He's like, "I don't know what to do."
Oh.
Did you hear that Tesla is supposed to be making like their own Uber?
Really?
Yeah. It's I don't remember what they're calling it, but it's supposed to be like if you buy a Tesla, then it's supposed to be like, you know how Tesla has like all the sensors and the like automatic driving and or autopilot and all this stuff. like they already have like all the technology in place for the car to drive itself. So like once it becomes legal, it's supposed to be like you can buy a Tesla and like you say you like drive it to work, and then once you get to work, you can like set it to where it'll go out and like pick people up and drive them around.
Really?
So then like you're making money while you're at work.
Oh, that could be a really good business idea. Like just get tons and tons of Teslas and have them like do your own business for you.
That's what I was thinking. I think that I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's probably gonna happen. Some billionaire's just gonna buy like 200 Teslas and like dump them off in LA, and they'll just go around.
That's gonna make a huge vacuum for jobs, though. Like a lot of people are gonna lose their jobs from that.
Yeah,
It's be like a lot of protests.
and, unless they start crashing into people, like the cars start. Like you're taking too long at a red light, and they just wham, and just slam into you. And you know how the Tesla has, like the Model X has the doors that come up?
Yeah.
Like it slams into you and then its doors come up. Like, it's like what are you doing? It starts waving its doors in the air. It's like, go! So, do you have any other Uber stories?
Oh, no, I haven't even started telling them. So I got I had this one Uber driver. It was like he was the best one I ever had because he was this older Greek guy, and he started telling his life story the second I got into the car, and when I got out of the car I was inspired because he told me like how he started off in Greece and he had like this deep Greek accent, and he was like. It's my family, and then war started, and I had to move to America, and just going fast, and I could keep up. But from
did you like respond to him, or were you just like? No.
I was just going over and over the entire time. But his life story was crazy because he moved from Greece at a very young age to America, and he went to school, but he was god awful at school, and he dropped out like in 6th grade or so, and the other kids made fun of him for it. But he went off and established his own auto shop as like a 14-year-old kid, and he got like,
in Greece or here
in America, and he started working on cars for a living, and he made enough money to actually like expand his auto shop into like an actual business, like a full-on business, and he eventually like proved everybody wrong about him being dumb, and made his own living, set up a family, and now his family like his kids are actually doing really well, like going to college, and
now he drives for Uber.
And now he drives for Uber.
That's what happened to the business.
He doesn't have to worry about it anymore because he's made enough money to retire.
So he does Uber for fun?
I think.
You didn't ask him?
It might be for fun. It might be for paying his kids' college. I don't know.
You need to get this guy over here.
Yeah.
I got some questions. What else you got?
Let's see. That was the main one.
You should drive for Uber one day.
I want to actually.
And then just drive for Uber. And then just like whenever someone gets in the car, just be like, "You been in a car with a murderer?" Or have like one of your friends like in the trunk, and when they get in, he just starts like screaming and pounding on the thing. And they're just like, "I think there's someone back here." And you're like, "Nah, man, just ignore it.
Just don't worry about that."
Have him like, you know how the back seats like fold forward?
Yeah.
Have him just like hit the brakes real hard and have him just like flop out of the back seats and like look at the guy and he's like, "Get me out of here. We got to go, man." That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
If you could do that and film it.
That'd be a good prank.
Or just like, if you were driving for Uber, just like pull up to a stop sign and then just like turn the car off and get out. And the guys in the back of the car just like what's going on?
What I do?
Or like right in the middle of an intersection. That would be an awesome video idea.
Yeah.
Is to make a video quitting your job at Uber. What you do, like you pick people up and you just like drive and you just like stop in the middle of a street and just be like, "You know what? I quit." So I take the keys out and just walk away. And the people are just standing there like, "What's going on?" I'm just in this Uber and this guy just quit. That would be priceless.
That'd be really good.
Someone needs to steal that idea and do that.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
And give you royalties for it.
Yeah. I want $5 per view.
Yes. That's a lot of money.
And then it has to have a minimum of 100 million views.
Yes.
That way I can retire.
Mm-hmm. But I had this other guy I was riding with, and he told me his entire life story, and he was like this.
How many life stories do you think you've heard?
I've heard like probably 6 or 7.
You should write a book called "The Stories I've Heard in Uber."
The Uber Chronicles. Something like that.
There you go, the Uber Chronicles.
Mm-hmm. But it's actually Lyft. Now I think about it. It was mostly Lyft. But
Oh, so now this whole now you lost all your credibility.
yeah.
Lyft.
But all of them drove Uber as well, though. So the plot thickens.
I mean, what's the difference?
It's the same thing. It's just 2 different sites.
Don't they pay the exact same thing?
I think so. Roughly the same.
They're probably Uber probably owns Lyft. And they're just like, oh, they're our competitor.
They're trying to make competition.
Yeah. So it's like, we don't have a monopoly.
Yeah.
We have a competitor. But really, it's just some guy sitting in like a gold bathtub, just 100, 200, 300,000, 400,000, just counting his money every day.
Yeah. But this guy I was riding with, he told me his entire life story because he was like raised in the hood, and he played football for his high school, and he was really good at it, but he didn't want to go to college because he didn't think it was smart enough, and he instead wanted to become a coach, but then I forget what happened, but like something inspired him to go to college, and he got some degree in, I forget what degree it was in, but it was in some like minor, like either it was like in history or like. It was nothing that you could get a job for, but he became a coach for a while, and he became like some professor in I think it was like some professor in history, and he retired from that, and now he drives Lyft.
So what was it? So he was raised in the hood,
Yeah.
and then he told you that whole story.
Yeah,
That's not a very long story.
it's not because he was a younger guy.
So he didn't have a long
He didn't
long
have-
life
He
story.
wasn't like the Greek guy. The Greek guy, like by the end of it, he was straight like giving me inspirational quotes. He was like, you young people in America, you can do anything you put your mind to it.
Did have you ever got into an Uber that you were just like, whoa, like this is kind of weird?
Like the person's weird.
Yeah, like the person was just, you were just kind of like, oh, I don't know about this guy.
I don't know. Like they were mostly. I mean, some of them looked weird, but they were all nice.
Oh.
Like there was this one guy that looked like Hulk Hogan, looked exactly like him.
Really? Was he like as big as Hulk Hogan?
No, he was smaller than Hulk Hogan, but he was this like he looked exactly like he had the handlebar like white handlebar mustaches and his dark sunglasses he wore all the time. It was pretty funny.
Did he talk like him?
No, he'd sound completely different from him.
No.
Yeah.